Hey, hey, I'm getting nearer with these videos every year. Hopefully the 2013 review will actually be on time and, so it's actually an end-of-year review. But anyway, let's try and make this a shorter video than last year, and let's get rolling straight off the bat. Best film of the year. And the nominees are Chronicle and the Avengers. I'm putting these two films in the exact same spot, so I'll explain why. I really like Chronicle, and I'm proud to say that it is the film that changed my mind about the found footage genre, because previously I thought found footage films were a load of old bollocks like Cloverfield, but Chronicle gave me half-decent camera work and characters that I could get behind and characters that I liked. Oh, and don't forget a good story as well. The Avengers, however, didn't live up to my expectations. I don't know why, but it just didn't. Don't get me wrong, it was a true summer blockbuster movie, and it was really well written and everything, but it just didn't 100% click with me. Skyfall. I literally ran the last half a mile to get there on time to see this at the cinema, and afterwards I walked 3 miles home in the freezing cold because there were no buses working to see this film. And you know what? It was worth it. Woman in Black. Wow. You know what? I'm so glad that there's going to be a sequel to this film. This is the first horror film I've enjoyed in ages. But then again, I probably should have expected nothing less from Hammer Horror. Excellent comeback, guys. I truly underestimated Hammer. Top notch. Life of Pi. Do you know what? For once, it was just nice to sit in the cinema and watch a film that was all about the story, the journey and friendship. And you do become genuinely attached to the main characters, even if one of them is a Bengal tiger. And the best film I saw in 2012 was... Skyfall is my film of 2012, simply because it's the film I had the most fun with during the year. And given that I had no particular interest in James Bond films, this is the film that's made me want to search out and watch all the old films. Addendum. I can already hear several people going, "Oh, but you can't forget about The Dark Knight Rises. It was the best film in cinema since the last Batman film." And if you're wondering why I didn't list it or even mention The Dark Knight Rises, it's because I haven't seen it. And I'll briefly explain why. I've seen Batman Begins about 3 or 4 times, maybe, and I've seen The Dark Knight a grand total of once. And I'm just not going to watch this one unless it's really, really necessary. And no, it's not because I'm a hater or a troll. It's because the one and only simple reason is I'm not interested. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. The character of Batman just doesn't interest me, and never really has. Sorry, guys. And now it's time for the worst films category. And the nominations for the worst film I saw in 2012 were Men in Black 3. I don't know what to say. Maybe my sense of humour has matured since the last Men in Black film in 2002, but I didn't particularly find this film that funny. Or at least I didn't think it was as funny as the previous 2 films. Also, I did a little bit of maths with the information given out in the film, right? Because it's partly set in the present day, and by my reckoning, Tommy Lee Jones's Agent K must be over 70 years old. Do they even keep government agents on for that long? Wrath of the Titans. Perhaps this CGI fest should be renamed Wrath of the Titan, singular, because there's only one in the entire film. What a crock. Underworld Awakening. Very, very little happened in this film for me. The Amazing Spiderman. Yeah, it's okay, but I'd never watch it again unless it was really, really necessary. I think the one major gripe I have with this film is, can't Hollywood go 10 years before rebooting a franchise? It's just money spinning for the terminally unimaginative. Cinema's going through every single comic book franchise these last few years, and even TV shows have latched on to the fairy tale mythos and given stories grim new twists, which is fair enough. I'm not complaining about that. I like that. What Hollywood is doing is draining all the money possible out of the comic book universe. You're paid millions of dollars a year. Come up with new and interesting ideas for new and interesting films. It's not hard. I'll do it. Give me the job. I want that money. Resident Evil Retribution. It's Resident Evil. What do you want me to say? Do I really have to say anything else? It's always been rubbish. And the worst film of 2012 is Underworld Awakening. Now, I'll admit, I liked the first two Underworld films. Not so much the third, but it was still okay. And when I heard there was going to be a new film in the Underworld franchise, I kept on thinking, wow, the first two films are about a sexy vampire assassin and a werewolf vampire hybrid guy. How could they come back to this story after 6 years and make it better than ever? And do you know what? They didn't! It was just really boring. Not to mention the fact that the second main character, the hybrid guy, is totally absent and not even in the film. So with this in mind, why call it Underworld when it's just some bag of bollocks that's designed to market this stupid 3D gimmick? Least Necessary Remake Award. The least necessary remake of 2012 is definitely Total Recall. Let me direct you to my comment that I made about the Nightmare on Elm Street remake in my 2010 video.
Least necessary remake. Definitely Nightmare on Elm Street. What's the point? The original was fine.
The same applies for this film. Hollywood, stop trying to fix what isn't broke, okay? Stop it!
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Yeah, so what? You kept in the hooker with 3 breasts. Who cares? And yes, we know Arnold Schwarzenegger isn't the best actor in the world. That's why we love him. And the biggest middle finger of all is, they don't even go to Mars. And you know what? Forget it. I think it's rubbish. Let's just move on. It's so bad that it's funny award. I'm trying to break away from giving the same company the so bad it's funny award 3 years running. Because let's face it, if I did, I might as well rename this prize to the Let's See What Crap the Asylum has come up with this year award. As much as I want to give this award to the Asylum for their 2012 entry, Two-Headed Shark Attack, I'm going to resist. And give it instead to the DINOSAUR Project, a somewhat unknown low-budget British film in the found footage genre. Needless to say, I will not be reviewing it. However, the film can be summarised with my top 5 random or crap moments. Number 1, the CGI. I mean, yeah, it's alright, but it's no Jurassic Park, and Walking with Dinosaurs was on TV over a decade ago, and it looks better than this. Number 2, just a random clip of a headmaster wearing some ladies' underwear. Number 3, a guy bringing dinosaur top trumps on the expedition. Whatever. Number 4, the kid actor's eyes. Seriously, just look at them when you watch this film. Look into his cold, dead eyes and see the blackened void behind them. But still, he can see into your soul. Number 5, the quote on the box cover. The best film since Jurassic Park. Who wrote this quote? Do the people they quote on box covers actually watch these films? I think we know the answer to that. Overall, the film was okay, I guess, but I wouldn't give it any more than 5 out of 10, because if found footage films aren't filmed particularly well, then it can ruin the experience. And finally, as a sort of smug note to all those lovely companies that have slapped copyright claims on my 2011 year in film review, I'd just like to say, I didn't use any video footage that you can claim on this year, so yeah, chew on that. Happy 2013, everybody. See you next year.